in his Gonzaga debut, putting up 14 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and a school record 7 blocks in the Bulldogs season opener. So at least for one night, the top overall recruit lived up to the hype. So Shannon, we're jumping ahead. Will the 7-foot freshman be the best player, college basketball, and the #1 pick in the draft?
Skip, I can see both of those things happening. Guys is tremendously skilled. You know, he's the first player in 25 years to have a 10-10-5-5 ball game. But I'm sure the scouts are asking themselves, is this guy Kristaps Porzingis or is he Kevin Durant? That's the question.
I don't know if they're asking that.
The dude's 7 foot tall, about 115 pounds.
He's 7'2".
Okay, 7'2", 115. Porzingis is 7'3". Kevin Durant is 7 foot tall. And remember, Kevin Durant couldn't lift 135. They're like, well, man, he ain't strong. But he can lift that basketball.
Hey, we have seen a lengthy parade of 7-foot American white centers who never live up to their draft position, right?
No.
This kid is different. And I've only watched the highlights, but I told you this last year. This kid is 7'2", who plays like 6'2", athletic.
Yeah, he's not really a back to the basket. He can shoot the ball. I watched him last year, Skip, play against Amani Bates, the guy that's at Memphis State, I think, right now.
Yes, he is.
And he did a number. He did a number on him.
He did. This kid has skill, and he's got shot blocking swagger to him.
Does.
He's just different, and I think he's going to be legit, the real deal, inside and outside game.
You think he'll be? How good you think he'll be in the NBA?
Good. I think he can be an all-star.
Either way, it's exciting. It's exciting to watch. All right, guys. Skip Shannon, great stuff.
Durant.
We're back same time tomorrow. The Herd is on now. Have a good day. Such big home underdogs when they.
I'm not surprised at all, Skip, given the fact that there's no LeBron and considering how poorly the Lakers have played, basically, in really all their games. All their games have been really, really close, and they've lost some games to some really bad teams. And so for me, I'm not surprised because I believe when it's all said and done, Miami is going to be very, very tough to beat in the Eastern Conference. They're loaded. They got Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo. They can play defense with Kyle Lowry and P.J. Tucker. They got Tyler Hero coming off the bench and Dedmon coming off the bench. They got Enforcer and Morris. Duncan Robinson just roams around the perimeter looking to let threes off. So, Skip, they're a good team. And
although Markieff can't go. He's got whiplash from we're going to talk about the Jokic suspension, but they said he's got a whiplash-type injury to his neck.
He could probably come out there with a brace on.
But he's okay.
You look at Miami, they're first in the East. They're third in offensive rating, sixth in defensive rating.
Yep.
So they're really good. I don't expect Kyle Lowry, you and I were joking about it yesterday, I don't expect them to be 0 scored 0 points in 30-plus minutes. I don't expect that to happen tonight because if I remember last time, if my memory serves me correctly, when he played the Lakers and the trade rumors were circulating, he lit them up.
He did.
Everybody likes shooting in our building, so hopefully Camelo can keep shooting. So, but Skip, for me, I don't have a problem with this. I'm not surprised that they're 4-point favorites, and considering that we got a guy that sometimes plays with the other teams, even though he's dressed in purple and gold.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised at all.
But speaking of that guy, Wes Brick. He's a cinch first ballot Hall of Famer, I believe you think, right?
Yeah.
Is there any doubt about that? Can he undo that as a Laker? I don't think so.
I don't know how you not, Skip. He's a member of the 75th anniversary team. He's one of the 75 greatest players.
Okay. Is Anthony Davis a top 5 player? Because that's what you always tell me, right?
Well, he's playing top like 5? It now. I mean, what, he's 28 and 12 right now?
Well, he's 24 and 11.
Okay.
I mean, but lately he's come alive.
He's been a monster.
And
he had 5 blocks,
and there have
3
been
steals.
Times when I hear you talk across the table, and I think you're making the case that he's slightly more valuable because he's younger than LeBron is at this stage and age of LeBron's
Well, he's
career.
playing right now, so the value is always.
Well, I got it. Okay, so you consider him top 5, okay? And with Westbrook, and then there's Carmelo Anthony, who is making 64% of his threes at Staples. Think about that. That's unheard of, uncharted territory. Unfathomable.
Right.
64% of his threes at home. He's averaging 21 points a game at home. That's 6th man of the year kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
Isn't he, at least in the early conversation?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So this is the hottest he's ever shot the basketball, right? You can have Denver, you can have Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
He's never been hotter than he is now. I can make a case of all the basketball I watch, and I just watch it like crazy every night. He's the hottest shooter in the league at this moment.
Right.
The hottest three-point shooter. It's not not Steph. It's not, you know, Dame or whoever else you want to talk about.
Trae Young, the normal cast of characters that we would think with great three-point shooting.
Right.
Melo shooting the ball at a high percentage. As a matter of fact, Skip, he's shooting a higher percentage from the field than at any point in time in his career.
Okay. Is Melo a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Absolutely.
Okay. Which brings me to another guy that you say is a slam dunk Hall of Famer, and that's Dwight Howard.
Right.
And he's still playing at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
He only plays 14 minutes, but he wreaks havoc for 14 minutes. So you have a Hall of Famer, you have two Hall of Famers coming off the bench. You have two future Hall of Famers in your starting lineup. One of those, a current top 5 player.
Yeah.
And the other has averaged a triple-double for the last 5 seasons. And by the way, speaking of Russell Westbrook, he's now averaging 18, 9, and 9. So he's on course. He just might do it again.
Yeah.
He might average a triple-double for your Lakers.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. You're missing the king. So let me ask you a question. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, the Rams come to town, and they still have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown.
The Bucks?
The Bucks.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bucks. But there's no Tom Brady. Who do you think is going to be favored in that game?
Okay, but obviously Tom Brady's position is more valuable than LeBron's position.
He ain't more valuable than LeBron.
Yes, he is.
He ain't.
He's won 7 Super Bowls,
I don't
6
care.
of them with fourth-quarter game-winning drives.
And my guy,
fourth-quarter overtime. He's got 4 and he's lost 6 finals. Don't go there. I'm sorry.
Skip, all I'm saying is, let me ask you a question. If LeBron is played, do you believe the Heat would be favored? Yes or no?
I believe it would be a pick'em type game because the Heat are off to a very good start until just lately. And I want to put this in perspective. You realize that the Heat 2 games back lost at home to a Celtics team that looked like it was in disarray. And all of a sudden they came together at Orlando, and then they go to Miami next night and they win 95-78. So Kyle Lowry's team, Jimmy Bucket's team at home, scored only 78 points and lost 95-78. Are you kidding me? And then they did beat Utah. That was a quality win at home. But then just the other night, they go to Denver and they get blown out 113-96. So 2 of the last 3 games, they haven't looked like the best team in the East, right?
Yeah.
Even though their record is now tied with the Bulls and, believe it or not, the Wizards for the top of the East at 7-3. But they have lost 2 of their last 3 games.
Montrez balling.
Well, is he?
Yeah.
Kuzma balling?
No. Montrez, because he's playing like he played when he was with the Clippers, like 30, 32 minutes a game.
So would you like to rescind that trade and send Russ back and get those players back?
No, I want to rescind the trade and go get Buddy Hield.
Okay, well, there you go.
But I want to keep Trez. I think we could have kept Trez. Okay,
so obviously this all comes down to one player and one player only. The reason the Miami Heat are 4.5-point favorites is because of Westbrook. And he is a cinch first ballot Hall of Famer. He's almost averaging a triple-double, but he is leading the league in turnovers.
Yes.
And he's shooting 25.6% from 3, which ranks 147 of 157 players. It's abysmal. He is the worst superstar jump shooter I have ever seen, and it ain't close.
Yes.
And his free throw shooting isn't much better at 64.2%. And his even from the field shooting, which should be somewhere around 50, is down at 41%. That ranks 135th of 136 players.
Skip, even if he was like, let's just say he was like 47%, I think that's a good field goal percentage for a guard. I think Steph probably around 48%. But Steph, Steph percentage would be a lot higher if he wasn't shooting the amount of threes that he shoot. But I think a good guard, if he can shoot 47%, I think Kobe's around 47.
Okay.
Something like that.
So I would like to demonstrate for our faithful viewers exactly why the Heat are 4.5-point favorites. Could we see the 5 turnovers just in the fourth quarter the other night?
Yeah, why you do this, man, like this, man?
These are the 5 turnovers just in the fourth quarter. Russ? Russ, hang on to the basketball. You just dribbled on the out-of-bounds line.
No, he went back court.
Oh, I think he dribbled on the out-of-bounds line. No, I think there's another back court. But that time he just dribbles it off his foot out of bounds. Russ, this is...
He going to throw this one and hit Sean. Hit Sean right in the chest.
No, he threw it such a bad pass that it was already out of bounds. Russ, don't do this. Have a plan. He had no plan. He had no idea where he was going with the basketball. Those are the 5 turnovers. Could we also see, just for our viewers' edification, the 10 missed shots the last game? 10 missed shots. Remember, they had a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter of this game, but he ends up missing 10 shots. Ooh. Well, that's like a LeBrick, except it's a
No, bro,
Russ brick.
stop it.
Yeah. Russ, you were actually covered there, and you missed everything long. Russ, no. He's not even making the shots at the rim anymore. Whoops. West Brick, he is left-handed, but he couldn't get it up on the rim.